space. So how can startups be legally compliant? How can they build and scale sustainably while putting in place structures, legal structures that will enable them to scale? And so today, or this morning, we are going to be looking at the startup ecosystem in general. How can we build resiliently within our highly uncertain environment? We already know how the environment here in Nigeria is. We know how our economic systems are and all that. So in the midst of all of these challenges, how can startups actually adapt? How can they grow and how can they scale? But before we get into the crux of our discussion, maybe a very big question. We've been using the word startup a lot. So what do we mean by startups? Anybody? Like when we say startup, what is a startup? Maybe that basic understanding will actually help us and probably guide our discussion this morning. Can anybody just help us? What when you hear startup, what comes to mind? What do you think a startup is? We don't have startup founders, we don't have startup people here. So that's serious. Okay.
So it should ordinarily mean an enterprise that is just at a formative stage.
Okay, at a formative stage,
yes. And implementing its everything.
Okay. Do we all agree with that? An enterprise that's just at its formative stage. Does anyone want to add anything to that? A startup. Okay.
A startup is an innovative something that is to bring around people and basically to solve a problem most of the time we don't have society. So it's to bring and basically using us in technology in most times.
She added something, she added technology. Okay, any other person? Okay, so while the answers are correct, I mean there are also certain things that we need to understand. So when we talk about a startup, what exactly is a startup? So first of all, you need to understand that a startup is not a business name. A startup is actually a company, a limited liability company. Or a startup must be a limited liability company. That's the first thing. Now the second thing is that what a company is set up to actually achieve, its objectives are within innovative technology. So, like my sister said there, she mentioned technology. And so, when we are talking about startups in Nigeria, under the Startup Act 2022, it's very clear, first of all, that your startup must be a company, and then it must be working towards an innovative product, idea, or technology within the ecosystem. And then it does not end there. My brother said that it must be in its formative stage. So, to what extent can a startup or a company be assessed and you know that, okay, this is still in its formative stage? So in Nigeria, there is a duration within which once your startup or your company exceeds, is no longer legally classified as a startup, and that is a 10-year duration. So when you incorporate a company or you start up a business as a startup, once it is 10 years, you are no longer classified legally as a startup. So what people don't know is now that does not mean that your startup has left its formative stage. It could still be in its formative stage, but it is no longer a startup in Nigeria according to the law. So those incentives, those perks that are actually available to startups cannot be assessed by that company. So I don't know, maybe this background understanding would actually help us as we progress. Now, another very big question. So when we now come to the startup ecosystem, what are the major challenges that we face? Because if we don't understand the challenges that we face as startups, I don't think we can actually build sustainably. We can't build resilient startup. We can't grow, we can't adapt. So what are the challenges that we face in Nigeria as startups? People who are building ideas, people who are building products. What are the challenges that we face? I mean, it's an open question. What challenges do you face as someone who is building a new product? Or challenges that you anticipate that you face if you are still at maybe your ideation stage? Yes, brother.
For ideation stage, I would say it's validating the problem. Yeah, validating the problem. Making sure that people are actually going through this problem, and you have a solution, but the solution might not be what people are going through. I'll use for example, my group here was saying that Nigerians don't care about each other again for the Techstars and stuff and the social media. Sorry for the idea. Yeah, so and once we put that data, we saw that Nigerians really care, like about 97% of Nigerians still care about each other. But the regular, what we saw on Instagram tells us that. But that's just it. So just validating the problem. Thank you.
Okay. Any other person? Maybe if you have an experience, maybe you could also share that. Just one challenge that you faced or that you're currently facing as someone who is building something in Nigeria. Okay. Is that all?
So I think, I don't know how to frame it, but it's like a trust deficit. You work with people, Nigerians have this nature of not just being trustworthy. So usually you find out that you have a good plan, well thought out of everything, and you're working with people, you just see that deficit just comes into myself. So I think that's a critical business orientation of people is really lacking. That's my experience.
I think another one would be compliance and regulations.
Develop solution. But then floating is solution in the market is one thing, and then having to know what is the legal framework you are standing on is another thing. So I think that's a very great one. A round of applause for them once again. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. And like I said before, for those of you who are developers, who are startup founders, even if you are an investor and you wish to know more, what is the legal framework that surrounds startup in this country? You heard him when he was talking, he talked about this. He talked about Startup Act 2022, right? I think there's an updated Startup Act 2024. He talked about something like that just now, Abby. And so there's something like that. These are the things that you need to know. And then how to protect yourself within the Nigerian startup ecosystem, right? Thank you very much. So without much ado, I quickly want to bring something to your notice. This event is a Techstars event. That is to say, it is an event that is okayed by Techstars. Techstars is an accelerator that is based in New York, US. They used to be in Nigeria, but I think in 2023 they left Nigeria. But we conceived this idea, and then we sent them proposal, and they looked at our proposal and gave us the offer to hold this event. So if we are holding this event without Techstars, and we are claiming that it's a Techstars event, then we are liars. That is why I told you, if you'd like to become a part or a community member of the Techstars platform, you can scan that QR code and become a member. If you want to become a community member of community, you can scan our QR code and become a member. And if you wish to know more about what any of our partners are doing, like Trusted Advisors, J Creative Hall, Media, Odo, Techstars, Steve Media, Red, Excel, Malox, we have them under their boots. You can can come out, meet them, talk with them, and then you can have a partnership. I want to solicit a certain favor for which I'm every one of you. Let me crave your indulgence, please. Whatever you are seeing here did not come on a platter. People made sacrifice for this to happen. This hall you are seeing here, nobody gave it to us free. We paid for it. The sound system you see, the lighting you see, the decoration you see, the branding you see, what have you? These are things that we paid seriously for, right? So we wish to let you know that if you are actually gaining a lot from what is going on here, we want to solicit for you to support us. And this is our company account, Coding Playground Technologies Limited, UBA, 1028932353. Please, you can support us with whatever you can support with. Are you doing it on individual notes? You are welcome. Are you doing it on company level, senior executive level, company level, whatever level you are doing it, you are welcome. It is highly solicited because there is still a lot. There is still a lot that we need to achieve. As it stands already, we have overshot our budget by over 2 million. And then this 2 million is going to come out from somebody's pocket. So please, we are soliciting and we are humbly appealing that be of help to us. We don't want it to look like after this program we begin to use police to look for the pastor himself. May that not be our portion. But please, this is our account where we are displaying. If you wish to support, kindly do your support to us. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving to the second speaker of the day. But before then, let's take 1 or 2 minutes to put ourselves together before our second speaker of the day comes. Thank you.
Isn't that already?